Hey guys, it's Track, and this one comes to us straight from the UK, where it has been made by a Nerfer who goes by Foam Data Services. He also goes by Old Noob and Tom, depending upon what community you find him in. Now, when I picked this up at the post office, they looked at me like I was completely mad because it's shaped like a sarcophagus, which is just perfect. It tells me that Tom really gets the whole theme of my channel and understands what's what, so that's super duper cool. We're gonna get into it here, and here we'll switch grips, a very well packaged sarcophagus it is. So Tom is well known for making Rapidstrikes and other electronic flywheel builds. He's actually probably known in the nerfing community to be the best at making these overpowered Rapidstrike builds, and it looks like it is indeed a full black toe pincher style coffin, which couldn't be any cooler. Oh wow, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. That's just a really cool thing that he's gone out of his way to make for me, and it looks like that's what's holding everything together. So I honestly don't know how to open this. I think that we're going to have to untomb or disentomb this blaster from its cardboard proto-wood prison of some sort, but we'll be back in a second segment when I have a screwdriver to get into this guy, because I'm not going to actually claw into it with my karambit. I think that that would be just a little bit too extreme, and I don't want to damage what's inside. So we're back with our all-black toe pincher coffin, and this is the last Phillips head screw. So we're going to come in, undo that, see if we can finally get inside this guy, and it looks like that is in fact how the lid works. And inside here we have just some extra packaging, some bubble wrap, and red satin. Now, Tom has no way of knowing this, but this is fascinating to me because he has put this monster of a blaster inside a black toe pincher with red satin lining, which is incidentally the exact way that I go to bed every morning. I sleep in a toe pincher coffin bed with red lining and sheets, so that's kind of funny. This blaster and I already have something in common, so getting it out and pulling it from this bag, and wow, this is the reason that I like to get my first impressions of everything on camera without any sort of lead or anything to it, because this is incredible. For those who don't know, Foam Data Services is the only Nerfer that I know of who also does hydro dipping techniques, and in this case he's been doing them well before me due to his background in auto manufacturing and custom car work. So he has far more experience, and it looks like he's selected a specific vampire themed dip here, which is just awesome. Look at this, it's the Drakon dip, and here's his Foam Data Services logo, which is awesome. And then we've got a orange metallic going through, so the orange stripe blends into this, and all of the orange fittings on this Rapidstrike coming in here. It looks like the reason that this was necessary to mount is because this is a tri-bladed 180 build. It's using the same 180 motors that I used for the Ecto Strife, which means that it should be getting just a ton of performance, and the cosmetics here just leave nothing to be wanted or desired. Here's a voltmeter hidden underneath the targeting reticle, which is also very cool. I don't use a lot of Rapidstrikes because I'm not a huge believer in full auto blasters, but this is definitely what could push me over the edge and get me to try them out. So it's going to be running on a LiPo power pack, which you can't ship internationally for obvious reasons, so I'm going to have to install one of those and come back and show you how it performs. But the combination of the black, this hydro dip job, the metallic orange striping, all under just what looks to be a super professional clear coat is just incredible. I really love the styling and look of this blaster, and even though I'm not really big onto rapid strikes, I can't wait. I'm just giddy thinking about firing this thing. I can't wait to see what its response is. Very clicky trigger. Obviously all of the internal workings have been overhauled. It looks like I spy just a little bit of white lithium grease, which is also my personal favorite. Oh man. So I'm going to stop just ranting and raving about it, and I'm going to cut the segment, go grab one of my 3-cell LiPo batteries, and plug it in. So before I went out to fire this monster, I just absolutely had to come in and look at the internals, because it's important to understand what you're working with at any given point. So these are all switches attached to what looks to be one of the UK part suppliers looms that has all of the special switches in that are rated for high voltages and currents, which is awesome. You can see how Tom has wired not only this LED inside, but also the voltmeter to the switch that will be activated when the jam door is open. Everything is greased up and looks great. Looks like everything wires and connects via this. This is an XT60 standard size plug. I'm going to hook up a 2-cell LiPo battery to it, which is just one that I have floating around. And then coming in here, we can see that everything's going to start working. That's light on and 7.64 volts, so that's pretty awesome. Then down here, everything should be very snappy and responsive. That certainly looks to be the case. And then here we'll have some motor pushing action. Awesome possum. So I will close this up and we'll take it outside for some firing fun. Let's do one quick look at this in a low light setting. There are no darts in this magazine, so it's not going to fire in this segment, but when we open up this jam door, we get all the lights going on, plenty of voltage. You can see that when I rev the blaster, we go from 7.6, and there's an immediate drop down to 7.2, but then it's actually going to level out at about 7.5. Tough to beat that. So our entire magazine well is lit up, which would be great for clearing jams in the dark. That's pretty awesome, and kind of trickles out through the bottom, which is really cool in my opinion. And then over here, of course, we have the Foam Data Services logo lighting up between our 180 blades. So that's pretty sweet, and I'm very excited to fire it for you. So I'll cut to a daytime segment and show you that. So I figured, what a better way to show off the Rapidstrike that still needs a name than to use it in a war for the firing demo. So first off, hydro dip job looks great. Second off, got our LiPo in there, really revving up to what we want it to do, and why not? Aw, that's no fun. I'm gonna find somebody to shoot. And so like, that's pretty effective. Understand now. Good hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I understand now why people use the 18s in the rapid strikes. You mow through your ammo really quickly, but it is very satisfying. It's you, buddy. I shot you, Doug. Alright guys, so this is the final segment for the Nosferatu. That is what Tom has decided to name this blaster. I like that name just fine, especially since it came in a classic toe pincher style coffin. I think it's very, very fitting. So once again, running a standard 2-cell lipo, but I wanted to mow through a quick 12 clip. If there's one thing that I've learned, it's that a 12 clip really isn't enough for a rapid strike like this. I now understand why people who use rapid strikes as their dedicated primaries use 18s, because that would be my one downside to this blaster. It just mows through darts. It chews them up, it puts a little bit of dart burn on them, but more to the point, it just eats my ammo very, very quickly. It went through an entire battle belt in under 2 minutes during an SE&C round and left me without a primary, just because it gets tags effectively and efficiently, but sometimes it just mows through more darts than you mean to. And I'm sure that that's a level of comfort and experience with the blaster that I'll be able to tune it in as I play with it more often, but the Nosferatu is just a real house here, and firing, you can kind of get a feel for that. It's very fast, it's very efficient. The accuracy is a grouping, depending upon range, about the size of a person, which is exactly what you need for humans versus zombies, and I am very pleased with this. I was not a big believer in rapid strikes before this, and I feel like maybe I should revisit the platform. I certainly have the electrical experience to make something similar to this, maybe not quite as nice, but I really enjoy this blaster. I think that it's an excellent primary, and the amount of detail and care that went into making sure that all of the extra, I guess, ridges and notches to fit the larger motors, and then all of the light work, and that everything is integrated from the voltmeter and super duper clean. I really respect that. It's clear that Tom comes from an automotive background, because he has so very much experience with this kind of detail and level of precision. So as always guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see more of Tom's work, please check out the link down below. The link will take you to the person who controls commissions for him. If you really want something done by him, he has kind of a gatekeeper, as he doesn't really talk to anybody, but he is prevalent as foam data services on Reddit, as well as, I want to say, the Nerf forum, and then the link below will get you into contact with his people so that you can get in contact with him. And I think that covers everything. Like I said, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this. This is just a full auto powerhouse. I've never really made anything quite like this that wasn't turret fed like a Swarmfire, and I like it a lot.